Okay, let's unpack this one. Imagine a life just so packed with experience, achievement, influence. It almost sounds like fiction, right?
It really does.
We're talking about someone who is, a top student, an engineering pioneer, a major political figure, even a global peacemaker.
Yeah.
But sort of digging deeper, our sources make us ask these really profound questions about destiny, relationships, what success even means.
And what's really fascinating, I think, is how our source material, especially these insights from a revered spiritual teacher, gives us this unique way of looking at his life.
Right.
It lets us try and connect the dots, between what he achieved now and things attributed to past actions,
Yeah.
all seen through this lens of karma and merit.
Exactly. So our deep dive today is into this incredible life story of a respected political guru from Thailand. You'll hear about some surprising encounters he had, his really long-lasting relationships, and the spiritual wisdom he apparently sought to understand, well, why things turned out the way they did.
Our mission really is to explore how things like dedication, good deeds, maybe even some, ancient connections are presented as shaping not just one life, but potentially many.
Yeah, get ready for some pretty intriguing perspectives here.
Definitely.
So let's start right at the beginning, this incredible journey. Our subject, born in Chiang Mai, his childhood was shaped by roots that seem both kind of humble and aristocratic at the same time.
Yeah, that blend is interesting. His father was a police officer, right, but had apparently been a buffalo herder before that.
Right, and he married into a high-ranking family, the niece of the Chiang Mai governor. So what was their upbringing like? How did that maybe set the stage?
Well, the sources really paint the parents as models of virtue. They taught their 6 kids, 3 sons, 3 daughters, though one sister sadly passed away later. They taught them the 5 precepts, basic ethics like not killing, stealing.
Okay, the fundamentals.
Exactly. They observed Upasotha days, those special Buddhist holy days, and practiced almsgiving every single day.
Wow, every day.
Every morning, yeah. Imagine putting sticky rice, still in banana leaves, and maybe some side dishes into the bowls of these really esteemed monks like Luang Pu Mun.
That's quite a discipline.
It is. And they also raised hundreds of ducks, gave eggs to the poor, just known for being generous and honest.
And this upbringing, well, according to the sources, it clearly seemed to pay off. Our subject sounds like a prodigy. Reading at 3.
Yeah, reading at 3. He flew through school, skipped 3 whole grades, always came first.
It's incredible.
Topped the science entrance exam for engineering at Chulalongkorn University. He was even picked as one of 15 genius children to live in this special house nurtured by a national leader.
Wow. And he carried those values forward. The sources say he never drank or smoked.
Apparently not. Always cheerful, and even when things went wrong, the teaching says he'd quickly bounce back, reminding himself, it's all due to karma and merit.
It really makes you think about the power of that kind of foundation, doesn't it?
It does. And when you look at the spiritual insights they received later, they offer this explanation for why the parents had such remarkable lives, and from this perspective, why they ended up together again.
Yeah.
His father, who passed away at 92 while meditating.
Oh, my meditating.
Yeah. He's said to have built up just immense merit, donating land, building 7 temples, loads of schools, ordaining something like 1,000 monks, plus the constant almsgiving and meditation.
That's the lot.
It is. And the teachings state this basically propelled him straight to the paranimita Vasavati heaven. It's described as a really high celestial realm. And apparently he's still there, just joyously exploring all his celestial treasures. His message back, relayed through these insights, was powerful. Don't get complacent. Keep building merit like I did.
Wow. And his mother, she died much younger at 74 from cancer. But there was something unusual there, too.
Yeah, fascinatingly, it said she felt no pain, even though she battled cervical cancer for 14 years.
No pain for 14 years. How is that explained?
According to the spiritual teachings, it was down to her consistent practice, generosity, morality, meditation, combined with merit from past lives, specifically donating medicine to monks.
So a combination of present effort and past karma.
That's the explanation given. And she also, supposedly, ascended to that same paranimita Vasavati heaven, got her own huge gold palace right next to her husband's.
Right next door?
Apparently so. Also busy exploring her treasures. And her message was pretty similar. Don't slack off, make loads of merit like me.
So the insights connect her status and wealth to her Buddhist donations.
Yes, consistent and respectful donations. And her marriage to his father, the former buffalo herder, that's traced back to a past life where she was wealthy, made lots of merit, and he, as her husband then, just supported and rejoiced in her good deeds without doing much himself.
Interesting. And what about the sister who passed away young, also from cervical cancer?
That's attributed to karma from a different past life. Apparently, she'd been a male official who arranged pleasure women for guests and ordered animals killed for feasts. So a negative karmic consequence, according to this view.
Okay, so this foundation of values, this early brilliance, it really launched him into an impactful life. He got a government scholarship, studied engineering overseas.
And not just one degree, 4 engineering degrees. England, Germany, the U.S. Then an honorary law doctorate, a doctorate in public administration.
Wow. So how did all that brain power translate into his career back in Thailand?
Well, his career was just as distinguished, based on our sources. Started at the electricity department, rose up to director of Northern Electricity.
Yeah.
His work was apparently huge for national development, bringing high-voltage power across the country, getting power into almost 1,000 temples, even helped fix up the temples themselves.
That's quite practical merit-making in a way.
I could see it like that. He also took the initiative to print and distribute 100,000 copies of this book, Munkle Chewit, Auspicious Life, to promote good values.
Okay, and then comes politics. This is where it gets really interesting, maybe. 1969, he becomes an MP for Chiang Mai.
Right, for 5 terms straight, held some really key jobs, like minister to the prime minister's office.
And he became this advisor figure, the political guru.
Exactly. Trusted by politicians across the board. He lectured internationally, even taught monks, and really championed educators. He apparently quoted his father saying, "Knowledge not passed on is like a lamp with no oil."
Nice analogy.
Yeah.
So from that spiritual teacher's viewpoint, what's the explanation for this unbroken string of successes? It seems almost predetermined.
Well, the spiritual teachings offer a very comprehensive explanation. It connects pretty much everything: good family, sharp mind, good health, even his looks, to specific merits from past lives.
Okay, like what? Give me an example.
Okay, so good family life, that's supposedly from filial piety in the past, intelligence, from always seeking knowledge and supporting education, his successful career. That's linked to not being jealous and always promoting his subordinates. Good mood, resilience, result of meditation and a strong spiritual base.
Even physical things, like being tall and handsome.
Apparently so. Linked to things like building beautiful, strong structures for Buddhism in past lives, good memory from speaking truthfully, good hearing from listening to good things, good eyesight from viewing others with compassion. It's presented as this incredibly detailed map of cause and effect.
Wow, that is specific.
Yeah.
But maybe one of the absolute peak moments politically was in 1975, that meeting with Mao Zedong.
Yes, November 22nd, 1975, a private, crucial meeting.
And our sources suggest this conversation was pivotal, that it helped prevent Thailand from becoming communist, which allowed Buddhism to keep flourishing there.
That's the significance attributed to it.
What did the spiritual insights say about the karmic side of that? An act with such huge historical ripples.
Well, the insights explain it as stemming from a past imprint or pattern. Like in a past life, he had this role of balancing power between kingdoms to keep things harmonious.
Like a predisposition.
Sort of. And the merit from this specific act in 1975, the teachings state, is massive. It ensures he'll be reborn in Buddhist lands, have a long life, be free from enemies, attain dharma, understanding the truth, and live peacefully wherever he is.
That's a huge karmic reward, supposedly.
According to this perspective, yes. A direct link between a political action and future spiritual destiny.
Okay, now let's shift gears a bit. Let's dive into some of the more, personal, maybe even quirky sides of his life. Despite all this power and achievement, he admits to being afraid of ghosts.
Yes, really scared, apparently. He even confessed to having this personal mantra he'd chant before basically running away. "Oh, Malud tut tut, I am human, you are dharma, don't you dare."
Chuckles slightly. That's quite specific.
Yeah.
So how do the sources explain that? Is that also karma?
No, interestingly, the spiritual insights specifically say this fear is not from past karma.
Oh, so what then?
It's presented as a direct result of his upbringing. Growing up in a culture where belief in ghosts is common, where they're often used to scare children, it led to a deep-seated phobia.
So a psychological thing, not a spiritual debt.
Exactly. And the recommended fix, according to the teachings, basically cold turkey. Confront the fear, adopt a firm no-fear mindset, and this is key, constantly visualized the inner triple gem, the Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, as a refuge.
So it shows that not everything is seen as karmic. Some things are just learned.
Precisely. Some struggles are presented as learned behaviors.
Okay. He also had some serious physical challenges early on. His hand was badly burned at age 3.
Yes, a worker apparently put his hand on hot asphalt, fused 2 fingers together.
Ouch. And then a bad car accident later.
At 22, yeah. Severe accident, broke his back, took a whole year to recover.
So did the spiritual teachings see these events as karmic?
Yes, these ones are explained as karmic retribution, direct payback for mischievous things done in previous lives.
Okay, how so?
The hand injury, for instance, is linked to a past life where he was a teenager, and he apparently tricked another child into touching hot lac, like a sealant, burning them.
And the connection.
The insight revealed that the child he burned back then was the very worker who caused his hand injury in this life, a direct settling of a karmic debt.
Wow, that's incredibly direct. And the back injury.
Also linked to a teenage prank in another past life, according to the sources. Shaking a tree, causing a friend to fall out and break his back.
Goodness. So what's the solution proposed for these kinds of karmic debts?
Consistent effort. Keep accumulating all kinds of merit, generosity, morality, meditation, and importantly, regularly dedicate that merit specifically to those he might have harmed in the past.
Right, actively trying to balance the scales.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about relationships. He had 2 adopted sons, very important figures. The first one, a Thai man.
Described as highly filial, smart, known internationally in governance and business, but apparently facing some difficulties now. Family, career, housing issues.
Yeah. So what's the spiritual teacher's take on this connection and his current problems?
Well, the connection is said to go way back to a past life where our subject was a Ditsapamopa teacher, like a famous ancient scholar or sage.
Okay.
And this adopted son was a wealthy student who served him really diligently. But more recently, in another past life, this son is described as having been a king.
A king.
Yes, a king who expanded his kingdom using, well, divide and conquer tactics. And even though he apparently built many temples later for the Dhammakaya tradition,
Right.
his current troubles are explained as the direct karmic fallout from that past strategy, the negative consequences of dividing people.
So the advice for him is?
Recognize the law of karma, first off, then really buckle down and accumulate merit intensively, dedicate it to those he wronged, and practice loving kindness towards everyone.
The path towards healing that past karma.
Yeah.
What about the second adopted son? A foreign national, also incredibly successful.
Yeah, this one sounds extraordinary. High-born senior military officer, incredibly wealthy, owns over 2 million rays of land.
2 million rays. That's huge. Like 800,000 acres.
Something like that, yeah. Owns 20 companies, has a retinue of over 30,000 people, including ministers.
Wow. And he often seeks our subjects' advice on leadership.
He does. And the spiritual source explains his huge wealth and influence also goes back to that Ditsapamoka teacher lifetime.
How so?
He was another disciple back then, and he apparently made enormous public donations land for rest stops, schools, hospitals, and he specifically wished for great wealth and a loyal team to make his work easy.
So an aspiration combined with merit.
Exactly. And even further back, in a previous eon, he's described as being like a supply line for the spiritual community. The Lanka even ordained for a bit.
So a long history of supporting good work.
Right. And the teaching says this past merit is enough for him to achieve his highest goals now, even potentially restoring Buddhism in his own country using his vast land. Their bond today is seen as just a continuation of that ancient teacher-student relationship.
Amazing connections. Beyond the sons, he clearly values his friends. There's an American friend, a former minister.
Yes, someone he's worked with successfully for over 30 years. His dear friend.
What's their past connection, according to the insights?
This friend is described as having been a senior royal advisor in a past life. Shared the same sort of benevolent nature, dedication to public service.
So, like minds finding each other again. And another American friend? A peace activist.
Right, raised by a national leader. Turns out he's also said to have been a Ditsapamoka teacher in a past life.
Another one. From a different school, though.
Yeah, different school, but they were friends back then, too. Similar ideals, both working for peace and nonviolence in an era without a Buddha. They apparently mixed theism with Buddhist-like ideas.
So that shared history explains their collaboration now.
That's the suggestion. And the merit they earned from spreading peace ensures things like a clear mind, lots of friends, no enemies, rebirth in peaceful places.
And the insights even suggest this friend could be introduced to meditation successfully. Because of an inner Dhammakaya.
Yes, suggesting an inherent potential for that kind of spiritual practice within him, according to the specific tradition.
Okay, and we can't forget the dog. Doll, rescued from the street.
Ah, yes, Doll, 12 years with him. Intelligent, affectionate, gets sad when he's away, acts like a bodyguard.
A very loyal companion. What's the spiritual story behind Doll? It's quite touching, isn't it?
It really is quite poignant. Doll, according to the teachings, was actually an orphan student of our subject back in that Ditsapamoka lifetime.
A human student.
Yeah.
Reborn as a dog.
Yes. But this student apparently engaged in promiscuous behavior, which led to negative karma and rebirth in lower realms, including many lives as a dog.
Oh dear.
Doll's current life as a dog is said to be nearing its end. But the teaching says, if our subject makes merit and specifically dedicates it to Doll, wishing for him to be reborn human, Doll can escape that cycle of suffering.
Wow. So even our actions towards animals can have these deep karmic implications from this viewpoint.
It highlights that profound connection, yes, how karma is seen to weave through all relationships.
This whole deep dive really shows how past actions are presented as just echoing through lifetimes, shaping everything, personal traits, leadership. And he was specifically interested in the karma behind leadership, wasn't he?
He asked about it.
So what do the insights say? What determines if someone becomes, say, a president versus a minister?
It's explained as being directly proportional to the merit accumulated, the amount, the purity of intention, how consistent you are.
Does quality and quantity matter?
Exactly. Like, what did you donate? Was your intention pure? Did you do it yourself, or did you inspire others to join in? All these factors supposedly build your leadership blueprint.
A blueprint. I like that. And to keep being a leader, life after life.
You just have to keep at it, the teaching says. Keep accumulating all forms of merit, generosity, morality, meditation, and make strong, clear aspirations for leadership.
Okay. And he also wanted to know, what does the ideal politician look like from a Buddhist perspective?
Yes. And the answer given is pretty comprehensive. It's a long list of virtues.
Like what? Give us the highlights.
Okay, well, things like the 4 divine states of mind: loving kindness, compassion, empathetic joy, equanimity, being free from the 4 biases: passion, hate, fear, delusion, sticking to the 4 bases of sympathy, generosity, kind speech, helping others, impartiality. The 4 bases of success.
Wow. Okay, it's a framework.
It really is. Plus, the 10 ritus for rulers, the 6 perfections, many others. Basically, the insights say if a politician practices these, they'll be loved, and they'll bring prosperity to everyone, community, nation, even the world. It's presented as a roadmap for truly ethical leadership.
A high bar, but a clear one. And finally, what about his own spiritual practice now? He meditates daily.
Yes, sits daily and apparently experiences these luminous crystal balls in his meditation.
Crystal balls. What does that signify in this tradition?
It's confirmed in the teachings as the initial step towards attaining the Dhammakaya, that state of deep realization. Consistent practice, the source suggests, will lead him to the full experience.
And his aspiration to spread Buddhism globally.
That's seen as not being new at all. He's said to have been a supply line, supporting the spread of this specific Dhammakaya Buddhism for many, many lifetimes, just taking different forms depending on the circumstances of each life.
A recurring role.
Exactly. Even his grandnephew, a brilliant mathematician who advises him, is revealed to have a karmic link to this spiritual community and is supposedly destined to be a key player in spreading Dhammakaya too, though he needs a gentle introduction to its deeper ideas.
Interesting how it loops in the family, too.
It all ties together in this narrative, culminating in his belief in world peace through inner peace, which aligns perfectly with his global peace work.
What an absolutely incredible journey we followed, looking at one man's life and exploring how, according to these sources, every single act, every intention might echo through lifetimes, shaping not just personal stuff like success and challenges, but potentially the wider world, society, global harmony.
It's true. This deep dive really gives us this intricate picture of cause and effect as presented in these teachings. How accumulating merit, overcoming karma, how these concepts are used to define our paths and our connections. It definitely prompts some critical thinking about the why behind things, at least from this particular spiritual viewpoint.
Yeah, it really does. So thinking about all this, what does it mean for you listening right now? Given these fascinating perspectives on how specific actions might lead to specific outcomes across lifetimes, and how even small acts of virtue are presented as building towards a bigger peace. What's one small intentional action you might think about taking today? Something to shape your own future, maybe? or perhaps the destiny of those around you, fostering that inner peace that, according to this view, leads to world peace. Just something to think about.